Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a powerful African story filled with betrayal, greed, pain, and ultimately, the unshakable power of karma. It's the story of a mother who sold her own daughter for wealth, thinking no one would ever find out. But fate had other plans, and what she did in darkness came back to destroy everything she loved. So sit back and listen carefully, because this story reminds us that no evil goes unpunished, and no tear goes unseen. Once upon a time, in a quiet African village surrounded by green hills and golden fields, there lived a young girl named Amara. She was bright, kind, and full of dreams. Her smile could light up the darkest room, and her heart was pure. Everyone in the village loved her, but her mother, Zuba, was not like her. Zuba was a woman consumed by greed. She envied the wealthy families in the village and constantly complained about being poor. Instead of working hard or being grateful for what she had, she blamed her life's struggles on fate, on her late husband, and even on her own daughter. Zuba wanted money, and she wanted it fast. She would often whisper to herself that she deserved more than what life had given her. One day, a group of rich traders from the city came to the village. They were known for buying rare things, animals, jewelry, and sometimes even people. The villagers feared them, for they were rumored to be part of a dark business that preyed on the desperate. But Zuba saw an opportunity. When she overheard them talking about buying young girls for work in the city, her heart did not tremble. Instead, she felt a spark of evil greed inside her. That night, as Amara slept peacefully, Zuba sat by the fire, thinking. Her eyes glowed with wicked ideas. She convinced herself that selling her daughter would be a small sacrifice for a better life. She will live well in the city, she whispered, and I will finally have the wealth I deserve. She planned everything carefully. The next morning, she told Amara they were going to visit relatives in the neighboring town. The innocent girl agreed happily, unaware of her mother's dark intentions. As they walked through the forest path, Amara talked excitedly about what she would see. Zuba, silent and cold, avoided eye contact. When they reached the meeting point, the traders were already waiting. They looked at Amara and nodded. Zuba didn't hesitate. She handed her daughter over for a bag of gold coins. Amara's eyes filled with confusion and fear as she was pulled away. She screamed, "Mother, please don't leave me." But Zuba turned away, pretending not to hear. Her heart had turned to stone. Days passed, and Zuba returned to the village dressed in new clothes and jewelry. She bought a big house, servants, and animals. People were surprised and asked where she got her wealth. She lied easily, saying she had inherited it from a distant relative. But behind her luxurious life, her nights were sleepless. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Amara's terrified face calling out for help. She tried to silence the guilt with gold, but no amount of wealth could buy peace for her soul. Meanwhile, Amara's life had become a nightmare. She was taken to the city and sold to cruel people who forced her to work without rest. They treated her worse than an animal, but Amara never lost faith. She prayed every night for strength, for freedom, and for justice. Her heart remained pure even in the darkest times. One day she managed to escape. Weak, hungry, and frightened, she wandered until she met an old woman who took pity on her. This woman gave her shelter and food, and soon learned her story. The old woman was wise and well-connected. She vowed to help Amara find her way home. Months later, Amara returned to her village, but this time she was no longer the same innocent girl. She had seen the world's cruelty and carried deep scars in her heart. The villagers were shocked to see her alive, for they thought she was dead. When they asked what happened, she told them everything. The truth spread like wildfire. People were horrified to learn that her own mother had sold her. Zuba's lies collapsed like a house made of dust. The same night, Zuba's wealth began to vanish mysteriously. Her animals fell ill, her servants ran away, and her gold turned worthless. She tried to hide from shame, but no one respected her anymore. The same villagers who once admired her now turned their backs. Karma had come knocking on her door. Her once beautiful home felt haunted, filled with echoes of her daughter's cries. Even her reflection in the mirror began to terrify her. She could no longer recognize herself. One evening, Zuba wandered near the river where she and Amara used to fetch water years ago. She broke down and cried, screaming to the heavens for forgiveness. But it was too late. The same river that once brought them joy became the place of her downfall. She slipped and fell into the water, disappearing into the darkness. Some say it was an accident. Others believe the spirits of the ancestors took her as punishment for her crime. Amara stood silently by the river the next morning, tears rolling down her cheeks. Despite everything, she whispered a prayer for her mother's soul. Her heart, though broken, was still kind. She rebuilt her life slowly with the help of kind villagers. Years passed, and Amara became known as a healer. People came to her not just for medicine, but for wisdom. She taught others that love is stronger than greed, and forgiveness is more powerful than hate. Her story spread far and wide across villages. It became a tale told to children at night, a reminder of what happens when a heart turns away from goodness. People remembered her name with respect, while Zuba's name became a symbol of betrayal. Time moved on, but the lesson remained eternal. Amara never married. She dedicated her life to helping orphans and poor children, saying she wanted no one to feel the pain she once knew. She would often look up at the stars and speak softly, "May every child know love, and may every mother protect, not destroy." Those words echoed through generations, a message that no one could ever forget. Years later, the village built a small shrine near the river to honor Amara's kindness. Travelers who passed by would stop, say a prayer, and drop a flower in the water as a tribute. The elders said that sometimes during moonlit nights you could see a reflection of a mother and daughter smiling together in the river, perhaps a sign that forgiveness had finally found its way between worlds. The story of Zuba and Amara became more than just a tale. It became a lesson carved into the heart of every listener. It taught that greed destroys, that betrayal brings sorrow, and that karma always finds its way back. But above all, it showed that even after the darkest night, light can still rise from the heart of the innocent. So, the next time you think of making a choice that hurts someone for your own gain, remember Zuba's fate. Remember how wealth built on pain can never bring peace. And remember Amara's strength, her courage to forgive, her power to heal, and her unwavering belief in goodness even after being betrayed by the one who should have protected her. In the end, this African story is not just about punishment. It's about redemption, choices, and the invisible law that governs life. Whatever we give to the world, whether love or cruelty, it always finds its way back to us. That is the power of karma, and that is why this story continues to be told generation after generation. Thank you for watching till the end. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful and meaningful stories from Africa and around the world. Until next time, remember truth may be silent for a while, but it never dies.